Now, this is a big game for Manchester United. Obviously, we come into this game off the back of what was a good victory over what they called against Liverpool. And now today we need to kind of turn what was a good victory and a much needed victory over Liverpool into more success this time against Southampton. Now, coming into this game, Manchester United, well, before we get into the preview, I should say, watch along. There is a watch along for the game. As you can see, the stream starts at 12 because kickoff is at 12:30. So we are the early kickoff for this weekend. So be there or be square. As I try and readjust my chair so I'm central. So yeah, please do tune into that. Now, looking at this team, Manchester United come into this game sat in 14th in the table, while Southampton do sit above us in 11th. Manchester United having picked up 3 points from 3 games, while Southampton have got 4 points from 3 games. Of course, that point we've picked up is against Liverpool in our last game, in which we won 2-1. Obviously, Jadon Sancho scoring 16 minutes into the game, sitting down both Alisson and James Milner in the process. Marcus Rashford then scored in the 53rd minute. Martial playing a lovely ball through to him, and he beat Alisson at his near post to make it 2-0. Salah did get a consolation late in that day, scoring in the 81st minute to give them that 2-1 scoreline in a game which, again, United were the better team in. Liverpool at the end of the game were coming back into it, but Manchester United thoroughly deserved that 2-1 victory. They were the better team throughout. Now, looking at this game, this is going to be a really tough game for Manchester United. Southampton aren't a bad side. And I think you look at that Liverpool game and you have to look at that and think, this is where we have to push on. We can't have this Liverpool game be a one-off. It needs to be something we build on. And in the press conference today, we did speak to Eric Ten Hag, didn't get asked about kind of this game and about the Brentford game. And he was saying how against Liverpool, we were much better. We fought for it. We ran more than we did against Brentford. We outran Liverpool. And that needs to be the standard. We had to learn lessons from the Brentford game when we obviously lost 4-0. It looks like we did that against Liverpool, but as we've said so often, especially when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was here, it's easy to get up for the game against Liverpool because they are so big and they mean so much. So while obviously you celebrate beating Liverpool, you have to take it with a pinch of salt and look at the next game. Look at a game which you expect Manchester United to win and win fairly comfortably. And that is a game like this this Southampton one. And you then say, look, if we can bring it in, against Southampton, then we can maybe say, look, we've turned a corner. But until then, we can't quite do that. Moving on to team news. This is the team news for Southampton. So Tino Livramento is definitely out with a knee injury, while Roman Perard is lacking a bit of match fitness. Obviously, he didn't play in their cup game against Cambridge this, I think that was on Tuesday. However, he has been in training, and there are hopes, at least, that he will be available for this game for Southampton. So he will be a big player for them at fullback if he is available. Now, I'm not 100% sure what kind of system we will see from Southampton. It could be a 4-4-2. It could be a 4-2-3-1, or it could be a version of a 3-5-2. For Southampton this year, they haven't played that 4-4-2, which they've played for so many years under Ralph Hasenhüttl. In fact, they've only played a 3-5-2 or a 4-2-3-1. So these are the two kind of systems that I'm expecting to see from Southampton today. With Roman Perard coming back, that could then be a 4 at the back with the 2 midfielders in probably James Ward-Prowse and either Roman Lavia or Romeu. With kind of Joe Aribo maybe starting as that kind of number 10 with the likes of Musa Gineppo, Armstrong, off of the flanks with someone like a Che Adams up top. But regardless of the starting 11, we know kind of Southampton's biggest target and biggest top player, key player. It's James Ward-Prowse, isn't it? He's a player that is so good from set pieces. He's their captain. He's someone they look at for inspiration. They get on the ball as much as they can and they say, James, create something out of nothing. Do something that will win us this game. And often he does produce. We know we can't give away set pieces because James Ward-Prowse can not only score free kicks, can whip in a delightful corner. And Southampton do have some big lads in that box to win headers. And Manchester United, over the last couple of years, have been very poor at defending corners. So that's something we have to look out for. And if we can stop James Ward-Prowse from playing his game, from getting on the ball and kind of dictating this game for Southampton, here at the St Mary's Stadium, Manchester United have a better chance of winning this early kickoff. In terms of our team news, we have got two players out. That is Anthony Martial and Victor Lindelof. Now, Anthony Martial came on against Liverpool and was absolutely fantastic. However, there's according to Erik ten Hag in his presser today, Anthony Martial has picked up an Achilles injury in that game, and as such, he will miss tomorrow's game. I'm not quite sure what I make of that. Look, Martial over the last couple of years has picked up a lot of injuries. But what confuses me about this injury is he looked fine for the whole of the Liverpool game. He was in training today, yet apparently now has an Achilles injury. To me, that doesn't make sense. Sorry, that shouldn't have flicked back over. That doesn't make sense to me. How can he be injured but yet train today? For me, that just doesn't seem right. So I don't know if this is kind of mind games from Erik ten Hag or if he really is injured or not. Like I say, I just think it's a bit peculiar how Anthony Martial didn't look injured against Liverpool, managed to train today, and yet is now apparently out. Especially considering he apparently picked this injury up against Liverpool. Bizarre. But if he's out, I think that's a huge loss. Because when he came on against Liverpool, he was fantastic. And it will be a real shame to be missing Anthony Martial in this game. Victor Lindelof is also out. He's been out for the whole of the season. I'm still not quite sure what that injury is. But he is out. Just some other team news. This was from the press conference today. That we do still want to sign some players. Erik ten Hag has made it clear that the current squad is not enough, especially in the front areas. And that kind of Anthony Martial injury kind of proves that. We only have two strikers, and Anthony Martial over the last 2 years has proven himself to be injury prone. So we are relying on a 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo to be fully fit and ready to play every single game this season at this point. And we just can't rely on that, really. So we do need forwards. Obviously, the deal for Anthony looks like it's progressing. Looks like that probably will happen. But the money we're going to be paying for him is absolutely ridiculous. But Ten Hag did kind of preference all that by saying, yes, we do need players and we want players, but it has to be the right players. We don't want players for the sake of buying players. We want the right players and we want good enough players. And that's kind of why deals haven't been progressing, because we want to go out and get like an Anthony, for example, rather than just, we'll go get Ismail Sarr, for example. We also spoke, he was also asked about transfers of Brandon Williams, Axel Tuanzebe and Phil Jones in particular. And he said it looks as if all three of those players will be staying at the club for this up-and-coming season. Which, look, Jones we need to sell. Brandon Williams, I'm neither here or there about selling or keeping. And when it comes to Axel Tuanzebe, I really had high hopes for Axel Tuanzebe. 2-3 years ago? I thought he was poor, really, when he played last season. No, played, was it 2 seasons ago? Had his loan out to Aston Villa, which was a disaster. Then went out to Napoli, again a disaster. And it just doesn't look like Axel Tuanzebe is going to ever be good enough to kind of hold down a starting spot for Manchester United. So I expect to see him. I hope he does leave, but I'm not sure. Moving on into my team predictions. For Erik ten Hag, I assume he will go with something that looks like this. So it will be David De Gea in goal, Diego Dalot, Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez and Tyrell Malacia, with a midfield double pivot of Scott McTominay and Christian Eriksen, with Jadon Sancho on the left, Bruno Fernandes at number 10, Marcus Rashford off of the left, and Cristiano Ronaldo starting as that focal number 9. And for those eagle-eyed ones at home, you would be able to tell this is the exact same team that Erik ten Hag started against Liverpool, aside from the fact Cristiano Ronaldo starts up top in place of Anthony Elanga, who obviously started on the left. Do I have water? I do. Now, why do I think he'll go with this kind of lineup? Well, look, he took off Anthony Elanga for Anthony Martial at half-time against Liverpool, and Marcus Rashford moved out to the left, where I thought he had one of his better games, and I think you kind of stick with that. And as such, that means someone has to come in. I think Anthony Martial would have been that man if he was fully fit, but given that he looks like he won't be, that only leaves Cristiano Ronaldo to lead that line for Manchester United. And look, preferably, like I said, it would be Martial. I think Martial offers more to this team. Ronaldo will bring goals, and probably more goals than Anthony Martial from an individual standpoint. But I think Martial, what he does in hold-up play, in kind of bringing his teammates into the game, means he's more valuable player to this Manchester United team than Cristiano Ronaldo is. However, look, Cristiano Ronaldo starting shouldn't mean we lose this game. We should still win the game, whether it's Cristiano Ronaldo starting up top for us or whether it's Anthony Martial. Scott McTominay stays in this team. I thought he played all right against Liverpool. Look, there's always McTominay's never going to be good enough for Manchester United. However, he played well against Liverpool. I'm his biggest critic, Scott McTominay, but he did play well against Liverpool. I think he deserves a chance to start again. I think Erik ten Hag will give him that. Plus, I know Casemiro's been training, but is he kind of ready to go? Is he kind of in tune with us? Is he going to be thrown right into the deep end? I have my doubts whether Erik ten Hag will do that or not. I think we've seen the other signings. Tyrell Malacia wasn't thrown straight in. Lisandro Martinez, was he? I can't quite. He can't have been. Did Martinez play against Brighton? He did. So Martinez was thrown straight in. So maybe Casemiro will be thrown straight in. I'm not 100% sure that. I have a feeling he might stick with McTominay and Christian Eriksen in that kind of deeper role. However, I disagree. Start Casemiro. I think Casemiro has to play. It's as simple as that. You don't sign a Casemiro, an elite ball-winning midfielder, for 60 million, and you don't start him. Erik ten Hag was asked about whether Casemiro would be available for this game, and he said Casemiro will be fit for this game. So you start him. I think the rest of the team that played against Liverpool, or at least played at the start of that second half, should play. Unfortunately, Anthony Martial again isn't available. If he was, he would be in my team. Absolutely no doubts about it. But looks like he won't be. So that does then leave Cristiano Ronaldo to kind of take that striker role for Manchester United in this game. And let's hope Cristiano Ronaldo can kind of deliver the goods for Manchester United and bring home the 3 points, because that's what we need. We need to win this game and see us kind of rise up the table even more. If you look at the Premier League table, 14th isn't good enough. A win today, a win tomorrow, obviously depending on the other results on the day, could put us in the top half of the table. And given the start that we had, you kind of have to take that, don't you? But look, just on the game, Southampton will be good. They're gonna high press. They're a team that Manchester United have always struggled against in recent years, if you remember correctly. So I do think it will be a tough game. However, I think Erik ten Hag is getting his kind of philosophy across. And if Liverpool is something to go by, this team will work. I think Casemiro is a big improvement. Will help to kind of protect that back line. Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane look fantastic at the back. And I think defensively, for once, I'm confident in our defence. Especially if Casemiro is there, I have full confidence in that team. And with that in place, I think we should beat Southampton. I do. And that's not me trying to say Southampton are a bad team, because they're not a bad side. But realistically, Manchester United should be beating Southampton, because we have aspirations and we should be targeting top 4 at minimum. So that means we have to beat Southampton. Do I think we will? It's a different question. Obviously, you guys can let me know in the live chat what you guys make of it. But I do actually think United will win this game. For those of you who watched my Premier League preview on, well, it was last night, you would know I did call for a 2-0 Manchester United win. And I'm going to stick by it. I think that team, whatever team it is, whether it's Erik ten Hag's or the team I would play, so whether Casemiro starts or he doesn't, that team is good enough and strong enough to be beating this side, this Southampton side. So let's go and do it. It's as simple as that. Go and beat them. Go and put a marker down and say that Liverpool game we're not one off. That's the standard. We're gonna go and meet that standard every single week now, and we're gonna see us push come the top of the push the top teams in this league and say, did you forget about us? Well, we're gonna make you pay for that. But look, that is gonna be it from me today. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And let me know down below in the comments or in the live chat what you've made of this preview, what you make of the game, and what starting 11 and score prediction you would have for this game, or what you have for this game, I should say. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like I said, please do tune in for the watch along. Details on my side. Kickoff is at 12:30, so the stream starts at 12 tomorrow with the early kickoff. Please do like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and help kind of push that number up to even higher come the watch along. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.